off with their heads! Q&A. Friday. Fanmail. Lovely. Warm here and I don't like it. A couple of notes. Afterworld was amazing. If you haven't seen my video on that, you should. West vs. Zombies was also absolutely amazing. If you have not seen Wallcom's footage of my last stand, the final mission, it is absolutely fantastic. It is probably the best action footage that exists of Captain Xavier at this point. It was fabulous work. Love how it turned out. You should go check it out. I don't like it. No commissions. No commissions. Let's answer some questions. Magna Tora. Which would you rather be able to bend? Air, water, fire, or earth? I would go with earth, provided I got metal bending, because that would make armor making, like, so easy. It would be amazing. Things you could do. Yes, definitely. Earth bending. Vanus Fan 121. Which of these options do you think is the best master key? A mediator barrel, a baron, a star, or a side strike? Ooh. I would go with either the mediator barrel or the baron, because what I consider to be a good master key is something that gives you a functionality you didn't already have. So the baron fires mega darts, and the mediator barrel fires a 3-round shotgun blast. So both of those are upgraded features that you wouldn't have normally with a regular flywheel or dart shooting blaster. So one of those two. The mediator barrel is obviously the easiest. The baron, obviously, you're gonna have to do some integration work and all of that. But it's not the easiest to make. There's a lot more work you have to do to be able to then get the catch release to work and all of that. But those would be the two that I would go with. Barbro Studios Customs. What is your favorite flywheel gun? I don't really have one. I tend to not play favorites with things like that. The Strife is obviously a very popular one because of all the options that exist for it. The endless custom stuff that they have out there. And because it's got a stock attachment point and a barrel attachment point, it's infinitely modular. So if I had to pick one, I would probably say the Strife. Jacob Sorensen, 1. How long before 1992 were you born? It's gonna be the weirdest way to ask somebody how old they are. 9 years. I'm 35. I was born in 83. 2. Any good tactics for CQB play, both solo and as a team? Yeah, don't get hit. Communication is actually probably the biggest thing if you're working in a group. Solo, pay very close attention to your environment. You can get all sorts of clues between, shadows, the noise people are making, patterns people follow. Check your corners, check around walls, go with a short-barreled blaster because it won't give you away when you go around a corner, things like that. Braden Dewey, do you have a double drum mod? Yes, in the sense that I have two 35-round drums that I have bolted side by side. They don't both feed into the same, at the same time. You load one and then you take it out and you load in the other one. But it looks vaguely like a C-Mag from a distance. I got one of the clear 35-round drums and made it so that it was loadable the other direction, and then painted it to look like a normal one. So you can still see how many rounds you have, but your opponent can't. And so you're not giving away your ammo capacity, and you can still see how many rounds you have. And it works. It's very heavy, so if you tap the mag release, it'll drop. But yeah, that's the closest I've gotten. Paladin NJ01 Studios. Which conflict from the last 100 years interests you the most? World War I. It was the one that was really the big shift from the ancient world into, well, not the ancient world, but the old way of fighting war into the new one. It was a brutal conflict, though in a year it'll no longer be within 100 years, because it ended in 1918, so as of 1919 it'll be more than 100 years ago, which is baffling that we had a war like that 100 years ago now. We haven't learned a thing. Trip Miller. What do you think about a new Pro 16 spring from Foam Freaks? This is the first I've ever heard about it, so I know nothing. I should probably look into it. Liam Buikema. How do you grow such a magnificent beard? I literally just don't shave it. And it just shows up. In fact, it's time to trim it again. Like I said, it's warm, and the scarf is coming back in already. Tamura Barman person. Captain Xavier, have you ever heard of Warframe? Yes. Yes, I have. Agent Zero. What do you think of turning a regulator or a Kronos into a lawgiver from Judge Dredd? I think that looked pretty neat. I think I've seen somebody do the Kronos one, maybe. But I think it would definitely look pretty cool. And who's your favorite Star Trek captain and ship? Once again, I don't have one. They all had things I liked. They all had things I didn't like. Never a huge fan of the Star Trek ships. They never quite did it for me. But I love the show. All the various versions of it. But no favorites. Ha! 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 Robert Merrill. Hey, Captain, what is your Hogwarts house? I took the test. I am a Slytherin. And this should surprise no one. Jaden Edwards, what is your favorite Auto Strife kit? I'd probably have to go with the V6 Select Fire kit just because it's got so many gizmos. But the jury's kind of out on the pure auto kits. I really like the newer one that I got off Thingiverse. But the guy who designed it has come out with an even newer one based on suggestions that we all made. He added a switch plate for the trigger, and he's added a pusher arm control switch. So it's a 3-switch auto strife now instead of a 2-switch. So it's more like a rapid strike. And I actually really need to print out a pair of those and try them in my auto strikes, because that was something I ran into at West vs. Zombies, was that if the pusher arm didn't get all the way returned, which on that newer kit, because it had a longer gear and a more teeth on the pusher gear, it rarely actually returned all the way. On the old kit, it usually did. But the old kit didn't have as many teeth on it, and so it wasn't as reliable, and I was starting to it was stripping out the gear. So I switched to the newer one that has more teeth, and as a result, it wasn't returning, and so when I go to put a magazine in, it wouldn't seat properly, and that's why in the West vs. Zombies final mission, you see a magazine fall out of my blaster, because I hadn't gotten it all the way locked. So I need to try his new version, and then I've heard rumors of an even cooler version that I'm not allowed to tell you about. But it will be pretty wicked. Definitely, it'll probably become my favorite. Deadpool the Nutjob. Captain, do you think the Busby Boss would make a good master key? I think it'd make it somewhat complicated. It primes on the top, and the magazine comes out the bottom. So how you would hook that up as a master key, I'm not sure. You'd have to add a different priming mechanism of some kind. So, not really. I also have never been a big fan of any master key that takes a regular stick mag, just because I think it looks cumbersome and hideous. But functionally, they probably work quite well. I've seen people who've done like a rapid strike with a Strife master key, which just seems silly because they're both flywheel magazine fed blasters, but one of them's full auto and one of them's semi-auto. So you have the full auto for, hosing the enemy when you need to, and then the semi-auto for more controlled fire. So again, you've got different functionality. But the boss, I think, would be a cumbersome one to try to integrate. I consider the Magnus to be a better option because it's top prime, but it also feeds from the top. So you've got multiple shots of Mega, but you don't have the issue of having the prime coming out the top and the magazine coming out the bottom. If you did that, you'd also then have to carry Mega magazines around with you as well as your regular magazines, and I don't think that would be very advantageous. So it's definitely not something I would ever do, but if you can make it work and it works for you, by all means, you run with it. Nikolai 1939, what do you think about making a Nerf MP40 using a regulator and the katana clip system? I think that would look awesome. That was actually kind of my first thought when I picked up a regulator, is it had that feel because the magazine was very far forward. And at first I thought I wasn't going to like it, and then I ended up, when I felt it, I liked it, and then unfortunately the performance is nothing to write home about when you have select fire strikes. So, yeah, I like it. Do it. Show me a picture. Logan Charles, have you ever read the Percy Jackson books? No. Ben Foltran, 1. How many elite darts could you fire out of a drain blaster with around 70 to 80 FPS? Probably maybe 5, but more likely 3 or 4. 2. If you were given $1 million and could only use it on one group of things. Probably Lego, honestly. The first thing that I would do would be buy a house to put my Lego in, buy a car to move my Lego around, and then buy an inordinate amount of Lego. 3. Would a yoga mat be good foam for making melee weapons? Yes. That's actually, I think, the preferred material. 4. Are you still working on a mortar? Yes. JK8Z. Do you know if anyone has tried to make a flywheel demolisher rocket launcher? Yes. Yes, they have. And I want to make one too. And finally, Tactical Tanner. Will you do Wallcomp's challenge to make a Dollar Tree blaster? Yes, I will. It will be magnificent. Not even close. Alright! Packages! Packages! Letters! Lovely. Alright, well, I got a couple of letters and a bunch of packages, some fun-looking stuff, some stuff I'm absolutely baffled. I have no idea what's going to be, so I love that. We're going to start with this letter from Matthew Longacre. Dear Captain Xavier, I was wondering if I could have 1 or 2 strifes because I really need to add to my arsenal and I need a strife that I could modify. You make the most coolest, hilarious, awesome videos that I have ever seen on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Lord Matthew. The reason why I really want a strife is so I can make it into a Chris Vector. Sincerely, Matthew. Well, I have covered a number of times why I am not able to give away free blasters. 1, there's no way I can afford to give 2 strifes to all 70,000 of my subscribers. And 2, I legally can't just give blasters to random children on the internet. They've got rules about sending projectile firing toys to strangers. So, unfortunately, no, I cannot do that. But the good news is I hear they're coming out with a new variant. The Battle Camo Strife has been announced, as well as the Modulus Strife. So they are still available to buy online. So you can acquire one that way. Up next, we have a letter from James and Penny Yenter. Oh, they sent me a dart. Captain Xavier. Oh, it's an old school whistler. Dear Captain Xavier, I love watching your videos and you inspired me to start my own channel, Tactician556. You should go check that out. It would mean the world if you liked my videos. I'm trying to make good content by shooting with DSLR and editing. In Iowa, we don't have large Nerf clubs, but I am starting one with my friends. Love the videos. Keep up the good work. P.S. Could you send me an OG Jolt? I have a hammer shot spring to put into it. P.P.S. Do you own any firearms? I do. I own several. I own a 1022 long rifle and a 1022 6-shot pistol, both of them Rugers, and then I have an SKS. Good luck with the Nerf club. That's often people ask me, there's no clubs in my area, what should I do? Well, start one. That's how you get going. I have whole videos on how to start your own club, so if you haven't seen that, watch it. It might have some useful advice. And same thing about free blasters, unfortunately. No free blasters. But this dart will go in my increasingly large gifted dart collection, and I like it. It's all worn out. It's led a rough life. It's got my name on it. In my colors. Very cool. Thank you for that. Got a little packagey looking thing from somebody called Andelman. And I'm thoroughly curious what's going on in... Oh, good lord. Oh, interesting. They sent me a Hershey's bar. Dear Captain X, I have been a huge fan of your channel for a year or so. I was initially hooked by your Drain Blaster and Ire builds as a break from mainstream reviews and clickbait Nerf battles. I have been working on my first real Strife build, but with Fang 2 motors. The one thing I can't get is the XT60 connector. I would be very happy if you could do that, as I have included the parts necessary as an excusable substitute for Skittles. Here is a Hershey chocolate bar. Keep up the good work. Sincerely, Ben. Cool. Oh yeah, I can solder up your XT60 connector for you. Oh yeah, you've had all... They can be a beast if you don't have the tools. Oh, you even gave me the shrink wrap for it. Very cool. Let me fire up the old soldering iron. Alright, well, we'll come back to that once the soldering iron's heated up. Alright, we have some tiny packages. And I do like tiny packages. What do we have here? There does not appear to be the slightest bit of explanation, but there does seem to be a bunch of dark gray bricks that look like they create a tiny catapult. Well, that's my guess for how it's supposed to go. And it's a catapult. I dig it. I have no idea what this is about. Oh, the Lord of the Rings terrain set small cave. Well, alright then. Cool. Always handy to have more gray bricks, given that I build castles. Very cool. Thank you, whoever sent this. You're awesome. Alright, another tiny one. That also sounds like random Lego. Ooh. A Lego geisha. That is really cool. That will go well with my plans to have some oriental characters in my castle as part of a foreign convoy sort of thing. Very cool. Either that or I might even have them have foreign nobles in the court. And she could be the consort. She could also be an awesome assassin. Who knows? You can do all sorts of fun things with Lego. Very cool. Again, whoever's responsible for this, thank you very much. Yeah, printing on her hair and printing on her back. Very cool. I like the little fan. Awesome. Let's take a look at this. Could be anything. Doesn't make any noise at all. Feels like it's empty. Because it is practically empty. Good lord. Enjoy your gift from Sparky the Saint! He sends me the coolest stuff. What has he sent me? All of that for one Lego minifigure in a bag. In a bag, in a bag. It looks like he has sent me Bard from the Lord of the Rings set, which is one I very much did not have. I like his bow. It's like black Qui-Gon Jinn hair repurposed. Very cool. And a very neat torso, printed front and back, which is just neat. He's got he's got both a pensive and an angry face. Very cool. Thank you as always. Minifigures are what make a scene really pop, so having all sorts of interesting characters is definitely going to improve the general look of the castle. Making a mess. How we doing? Alright. We're hot. Alright. There we have it. Your XD60 connector is all wired up. And I will get it sent back the next time I mail stuff. Right then. Let's take a look at the next Amazon package. Dubious. Someone has sent me my very own Toothless, since I have to send the other one back. Which, by the way, tell me, I need your address so I can mail it back. Also that other stuff. Cool. Now I can send it back and Brett and I can still duel with dragons. It'll be fantastic. And we've got the ammo now. Sweet. Very cool. And a minifigure. What do we have in here? Oh, it could be all sorts of good ones. The wrestler, the angel-looking dude, the fawn. Ah! Oh, it's neither. It's the queen. I do believe I have this queen. In fact, I'm sure I do. But now I can make another one, or a princess, or change out the hair, change out the face, you know. You can never have too much royalty. That is not true. You can pretty much always have too much royalty. Anyway. It's a really cool one because they have the huge base plate, or brick for the lower torso, which is very unique to this particular character. And the almost bouffant style hair, with a tiny tiara. Very, very cool. Alright, more! Now this one's heavy, which is curious. I'm very curious what this one's all about. It's a box! Yep. They sent me a box. Just what I always wanted. My very own box. Oh! It's, battle bunker type stuff. Inflatable, obstacles. Cable spool set. Cool. I actually met the Battle Bunkers guys at Jared's Epic Nerf Battle. They took us to dinner. I didn't get any of their stuff while I was there, though. I should have. Should have made off with some of their bunkers. They had a whole bunch of them, and people were just allowed to take them, and I didn't get around to it. Wouldn't have had any room in my luggage anyway. But very cool. Ship as one unit. Do not break. Anyway, yeah, when I start doing my own Nerf Wars or in future Nerf Wars, mobile obstacles, inflatable obstacles will be very, very useful. So, thank you for that. Ooh! I have an idea. I'm pretty sure... Yes. Yes, those mortars. I think those would actually make good targets. We could do competitions to see who can hit long-range targets with mortars. Lovely. Alright, we're going to take a look at this one, because it comes to me from a Christopher Tannehill. The Lord only knows what it contains. Dear Captain Xavier, first off, please forgive this letter being typed. My handwriting is awful in the first place. Also deteriorating since I got my first computer, and by now you need comprehend language skills to decode it. Yeah, my handwriting is atrocious too. With that out of the way, I want to say that I'm a huge fan of your channel, and have been since I first discovered you. I only recently got into Nerf in the past holiday season when I bought a Nerf Apollo for a friend's son, then decided I wanted it for myself. That started a bit of a chain reaction for me. Research into various foam blasters online eventually led to your channel, and I completely hooked. You're an amazing modder, but more importantly, you're an amazing contributor, not only to your local community, but to the larger Nerfing community as well. Be proud, sir. Hey, yeah? To the contents of this package. The Skittles are from Austria. Austrian Skittles? Well, what do you know? Are they different? I don't know, but they're amazing. They will go in my Skittle collection. And if you could say hello to my friend Almut over there, I very much appreciate it. Oh, Guten Tag, Almut. They're noteworthy both for the fact that the green ones are still lime. Oh my god! What? Now I have to eat them. Yep. Can't be helped. Green. Give me a green. Oh. It's so good. Oh. Tastes like happiness in childhood. Lemon and lime. Oh, you're a saint. It comes with a resealable bag. Look at that. Fabulous. Alright. And the purple ones are apparently black currant. Finish reading before you, spaz out. Black currant instead of grape, huh? Yep. That is not regular grape. That is really good. I like them better than the grape ones, actually. I'm with you. The gummies are, well, gummies. Enjoy. Especially fond of the cola-flavored ones. Gummies! We've got cola-flavored gummies. The Happy World of Haribo. Haribo. Oh, Hannibal. And oh, it's a mix. Gummies, worms, light. I don't know what those are supposed to be. And cherry-shaped things. Awesome. One can never have too many gummies. As for the ammo, my apologies to Out of Darts for not picking up headshot ammo. This was an impulse buy from a local Walmart, and since the Orange Rival compatible ammo, I figured it would be of some use to me. Yeah! I've heard that this stuff is actually more accurate. Or at least more consistent. But I haven't been able to prove that. I have a couple of them that I've picked up here and there, but now I've got a bunch. I'll have to run it in a war and see how I like it. Maybe put one tube of it, fill an Artemis, one tube with this and one tube with regular, and see if I can notice a difference. With that, a couple of questions. Are you at all a fan of Jurg Sprav or Michael Cthulhu? You might get a kick out of their YouTube channels if you've not heard of them. Jurg, if that's the crossbow guy, then yes, but I don't recognize Michael Cthulhu. I will have to look them up. What do you think of the upcoming Zombie Strike Rip Chain? Personally, I'm excited by the idea of a chain-fed pump-action Springer, and I'd love to get your take. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how well it performs, up compared to like the off-brand chain blasters, because both Busby and I think Dart Zone now have one. I picked up the Dart Zone one at a Goodwill recently. Need to do a K26 episode on it. So I might save it until I can get my hands on the Rip Chain and then compare the two in a K26 episode. So yeah. And a more self-serving question. A couple months back, I bought an orange Alpha Trooper from Kohl's, and the thing worked beautifully until the day it made an odd sound and fired some of its plastic internals out the barrel. So I went back and got a replacement, but this one seems mushy in its feeding and priming alike. So my question is, do you recommend a decent mod kit for the Alpha Trooper? Ideally one that someone who's never modded before, would have relatively ease installing. Anyway, that's about all I got here, Captain. Keep up the amazing work, and be well. Yours, Chris. So just a fun photo of the internals of the Alpha Trooper vomited after expiring. Oh, yeah, that's the air restrictor, I believe. Yeah, the Alpha Trooper has a weird air restrictor system, and if you modify it, it will almost certainly blow its air restrictor guts out. Mine did. I've got an Orange Modworks kit in it. I don't know if you can even still get that kit. You might check NF Strike or Lytake. They carry some of the older, retired Orange Modworks stuff sometimes. If nothing else, they do sell spring upgrades for it. And you're probably actually going to want to take the air restrictor out, though it's tricky. So I would leave the air restrictor in until it blows itself out and saves you the trouble. But yeah, that is some cool stuff, sir. The Skittles are amazing. Oh, the green Skittles. And I shall have to try the gummies this evening and see what I think of them. Ammo, always welcome. You, sir, are awesome. Thank you so much. All right, last package from a Justin Stewart with bits sticking out of it. That can't be good. All right, what do we got here? Dear Captain Xavier, I'm a big fan of yours, and I became a modder because of you. And one time, I was thrifting and found a stinging scarab blaster, and I would like you to keep it and do a K26 video on it. You can keep it? Oh yeah. And I sent you some candy. Hope you like it. From Justin Stewart to Captain Xavier. P.S. Sorry about the handwriting. Bad handwriting. Well, once again, you should see mine. Alright, well, we have Skittles. We have Swedish Fish. We have Spree. Candy cheeseburger. Ooh, bottle caps. I do like bottle caps. You know, I found one of these at a Goodwill. Also, I thought I did a K26 on it, though. If not, then now I've got two, and I don't feel bad about possibly breaking one. So, Yeah. Very cool. Maybe I can have, now that I have two, maybe I can duel Brett with them as well. Just, you know, ridiculous duels against Brett are fun. So, that is awesome. Candy is lovely. I'm gonna eat a bottle cap. Can you root beer? Can you root beer? I think those two both might be root beer. Wait, the purple one. Get out of the way. Nyam, 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 nyam. Nyam. Root beer. Score. Double prizes. Alright, well, thank you all ever so much for the gifts. So much cool stuff. I'll get that XT60 connector mailed back, and I look forward to... I'm actually hoping to go to BrickCon this year and to take my castle. And so all of you who have sent me minifigs and parts and so forth for the castle will hopefully get to see it all on display there. I'll make sure that I get pictures and video if I am able to go. Need to get around to registering. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I need to start setting up minifigs and diorama and figuring out how I want to do that, since I've got most of the buildings more or less built now. So yeah, awesome. Love all the gifts. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the letters and all of the stuff. I will continue to hopefully produce good content videos for you. I've had some interesting offers from companies come forward that may lead to some pretty epic stuff if it pans out. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more crazy builds. And as always, thank you guys for watching.